Shalom and welcome. So glad you are here. I am James Caruthers with Between the River and the Ravens, and this is our Let's Talk Torah Sunday edition. We're going to be discussing the Haftarah and the Besorah portion today. It is November 27th, 2022. I'm still enjoying our new intro so much. I just love that it really brings out the beginning, the name of Yah, and then the commandments, the word, the Torah that we are given, his perfect word and law, and then ends with Messiah, Mashiach, rising from the dead in the grave. And I do think it's so important that we read the Haftarah and the Besorah portion each week. You know, of course, the main parashat portion each week is so vital, the first 5 books of Moshe. But I really think that all of these connect in a way that is very special, and I really am enjoying connecting the dots between the three, even though I can't even really figure out how many years are between. There's quite a few. It's just so amazing to see the prophesying that was done, and then obviously our Messiah on earth living that perfect life out. And it's just been such a blessing to be able to read these and connect the Old and New Testament and vice versa. So I do thank you all for joining today. And great word from Robert Wagner this morning on Mercy Poured Forth about faith or belief. You know, that's why we are all here. You know, we have that faith and belief in our Father, that he sent his Son to die for our salvation, and that the hope and promises of everlasting life. That's exactly why we are here. You know, we don't necessarily have the evidence like we have in other things around the world. Of course, we have all we need in the scripture and in the word. That should be enough for everyone. Of course, not everyone has that belief and that faith to follow out a righteous life. So I do commend everybody that is walking out in righteousness on that narrow path. It is not always easy, but we are called to do it. We are called to profess the faith that we have, but also to live it out with our actions by being that light on the hill. So good morning to everybody. We are going to start with the Haftarah out of Malachi 1, chapter 1 through chapter 2 through 7, and finish with Matthew chapter 10, 21 through 38. But before I do that, I just wanted to touch real quick on our Torah portion this week. You know, we know it was about Jacob and Esau, the two divided seed of generations, you know, and I've been thinking, and after our Torah fellowship on Friday, more has kind of come to me, and it's just so amazing to realize the significance and meaning of all of this. And really, I think that you can bring it back to the very beginning of Genesis in chapter 3, verse 15, when Yah says, "And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. It shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel." So that was really, I think, prophesying of what was to come with Jacob and Esau, the two generations. In chapter 25, 26, "And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Yaakov. And Yitzhak was 80 years old when she bore him." He bore him. She bore him. He didn't bore him. So right there we see that, you know, the adversary was trying to destroy the chosen, the Yah's people, Yaakov, which then became the 12 tribes, his chosen ones, you know, bruising the head, trying to destroy, trying to crush, you know, even in the womb before they were born. It is, like Shell's saying, it's a seed war. And he knew that there would be a significance to this. And I just find it very interesting that, you know, Esau really represents, you know, the people trying to destroy the seed of Yah's chosen ones. And we can see this throughout these portions today. You know, these two brothers though they be twins, they were so different. And really, you can kind of correlate these to different scenarios, but a lot of times, it's the people that are trying to persecute us, to silence us, is that seed of Esau, trying to destroy what's right in the chosen one of Yah. And so I just find that very interesting that we see that even in some of these portions discussed, even in Matthew in the Besorah. So we'll get to all that here. But like I said, we are going to start out of Malachi. And I've got some commentary to read on that. And then we'll finish with a summary over Matthew. So let me get this shared. All right. The burden of the word of Yahuwah. This was a sentence he found himself compelled to pronounce to Yasharel by Malachi. I have loved you, says Yahuwah, placing this at the head of his message as a fundamental, absolute fact. Yet ye say, in expressing their doubts of his sincerity, wherein hast thou loved us? What proofs could he adduce to show the greatness of his love? The form of presentation throughout is nervous and vivid. Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Says Yahuwah. Yet I loved Yaakov, Jacob, and I hated Esau, in the sense of not loving him without any idea of vindictiveness, and laid his mountains and his heritage, the land which he inhabited south of the Dead Sea, waste for the dragons of the wilderness, so that it would be a fitting home for jackals. Whereas Edom saith, or although Edom should say, in attempt to set aside the ruling of Yahuwah, we are impoverished or ruined, but we will return and build the desolate places, rebuild the ruins. Thus says Yahuwah Sebaoth, they shall build or make an attempt to restore their original power, but I will throw down, destroying their country a second time, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. That is, men would designate them as the region of wickedness, punished by Elohim. And the people against them, against whom Yahuwah has indignation forever, a monument of Elohim's wrath. And your eyes shall see the facts before their eyes, convincing them, and ye shall say, Yahuwah will be magnified from the border of Israel. Rather, over the border of Israel, the children of Israel would be compelled to acknowledge the particular favor and love which Yahuwah showed them by so many different manifestations. A son honor his father, and a servant his Adonai, in agreement with the commandment of Elohim. If then I be a father, where is my honor? Why were they persisting in their unnatural behavior and denying him the obedience which he had a right to expect? And if I be Adonai, where is my fear? Why did they not give him the reverence and respect which he was due? Says Yahuwah Sebaoth unto you, O priest that despise my name, the very ones who should have been leaders of the people in keeping the Torah, being their leaders in transgressing the Torah. And ye say, as if honestly representing the charge against them, wherein they have despised thy name. But Yahuwah had his answer already. Ye offer polluted bread upon my altar, in connection with some of the offerings brought to Yahuwah. And ye say, wherein have we polluted thee? In that ye say the table of Yahuwah is contemptible. Their practice of offering sacrifices, which were expressly forbidden by Elohim, and their manner in the entire administration of their work, being an insult to the holiness of Yahweh. And if ye offer the blind for sacrifice, is it not evil? Or is there no evil? That is, in their opinion. And if ye offer the lame and the sick, is it not evil? Yahweh had expressly forbidden the members of his people to bring animals as sacrifices that had any kind of blemish. Offer it now unto thy governor. So Yahweh ironically bids them do. Will he be pleased with thee or accept thy person? Says Yahweh Sebaoth. The Jewish priests were offering Yahweh an insult which they would not have dared to offer an earthly ruler. And now I pray you, beseech Elohim that he will be gracious unto us. They should just make an attempt to serve him with such worship. This have been by your means, that is, their hand had done, what their hand had done. Will he regard your persons, says Yahweh Sebaoth? If not even an earthly ruler would accept imperfect gifts at their hands, how much more was this true of Yahweh, the Elohim of the covenant? Who is there even among you that would shut the doors for naught? Rather, oh, that there were one among you that would even shut the doors of the temple. Neither do ye kindle fire on mine altar for naught. If one would but lock the doors leading to the altar of burnt offering, in order to keep the priest from bringing such vain oblations. I have no pleasure in you, says Yahweh Sebaoth, being thoroughly disgusted with their behavior. Neither will I accept an offering at your hand, no matter of what kind it was. For from the rising of the sun, even unto the going down of the same, which would be as far as the world extended, my name shall be great among the Gentiles, among the recruits gained for the believers of the New Testament from the heathen world. And in every place incense, namely that of our prayers of the faithful, shall be offered unto my name, and a pure offering. On the part of those who had accepted Elohim of the covenant as their Elohim. For my name shall be great among the heathen, says Yahweh Sebaoth. For the kingdom of Elohim was taken from the Jews, since they openly rejected the Messiah and his grace, and was given to the Gentiles. But ye have profaned it, have brought disgrace upon the name and the glory of the one true Elohim. In that ye say, the table of Yahweh is polluted, and the fruit thereof, even his meat, is contemptible. For the priests themselves did not regard the sacrifices brought on the altar as in any way effective. Ye said also, behold, what a weariness is it. They regarded their service at the altar as an offensive drudgery, and ye have snuffed at it, says Yahweh Sebaoth, publicly showing their contempt for the work of their ministry. And ye brought that which was torn, and the lame and the sick, in a contemptuous disregard for the Torah of Yahweh. Thus ye brought an offering. Should I accept this at your hand? Says Yahweh. He expresses in a most emphatic manner that he would not permit his glory thus to be despised. But cursed be the deceiver, the hypocrite, which hath in his flock a male, a sound and normal animal for sacrifice, and vow, as if preparing to bring a good animal as a sacrifice, and sacrifice unto Yahweh a corrupt thing, one with a blemish. For I am a great king, says Yahweh Sebaoth, and my name is dreadful among the heathen. Mentioned only with fear and trembling, Elohim will not permit anyone to heap disgrace upon his majesty by hypocritical worship. Chapter 2. And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. They must be aware of the seriousness of the situation and accept Yahweh's rebuke and threat accordingly. If ye will not hear, and if ye will not lay it to heart, if they persisted in their callousness over against his commands, to give glory unto my name, says Yahweh Sebaoth, by a worship in agreement with his commands, I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. His own gifts to them turning into the opposite, and bringing harm upon them. Yea, I have cursed them already, because ye do not lay it to heart. Behold, I will corrupt your seed, rebuking that which had been sown in the field, thus reducing also the amounts which the priest received as tithes, and spread dung upon your faces, as an expression of his extreme contempt, even the dung of your solemn feast, that of the sacrificial animals, which was ordinarily dumped outside of the city. And one shall take you away with it, treating them as though they were themselves dung, to be thrown out in disgraceful heaps. And ye shall know by the token of this punishment that I have sent this commandment unto you, this decree of punishment, which they thought they might so calmly disregard, that my covenant might be with Levi, all the priests, says Yahweh Sebaoth. Yahweh's sentence of punishment upon all those who despised his worship was included in the original covenant with the members of the tribe of Levi. My covenant was with him of life and peace, with the promise of life and peace attached, and I gave them, namely, life, deliverance, and salvation, to him for the rear wherewith he feared me, as a reward for this attitude, and was afraid before my name. The Torah of truth was in his mouth, so that everything which he did and taught was in agreement with the divine truth, and iniquity was not found in his lips. He was in no way guilty of perverseness in his ministry. He walked with me in peace and equity, in a communion of peace, integrity, and righteousness, and did turn many away from iniquity, this being the praise which Yahweh bestowed upon the members of the tribe of Levi. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, preserving the right understanding of Yahweh among the people as a precious treasure, and they, the people, should seek the Torah at his mouth, to be instructed in it, for he is the messenger of Yahweh Sebaoth. That is what Yahweh found praiseworthy in the members of the tribe of Levi in the early days. That is as it should be. It's very powerful. And I love how when we jump into Matthew, the Besorah portion, in Matthew 10, he has chosen his Talmudim, the disciples, to continue on his ministry, to spread his message, the Besorah, just like the Levites did in the old days, in the Old Testament. He has passed this on to the disciples. And in a way, we are still that. We are his chosen. We are to continue spreading this word on to those that don't know it or that do know it, but maybe don't have the understanding they need. You know, when your eyes are open, things really come to life and you see the word in a whole new picture. And so that's what we are called to do, is help spread that message, to be the light on the hill for all those in the darkness. So starting in chapter 10, verse 21, and the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise upon their parents, and cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endures to the end shall be saved. But when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another. For amen, I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Yasharel, till the son of Adam is come. The Talmud is not above his rabbi, nor the servant above his Adonai. It is enough for the Talmud that he be as his rabbi, and the servant as his Adonai. If they have called the rabbi of the house Baal-zebub, how much more shall they call them of his household? Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light, and what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in Gehenna. And are not two sparrows sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall on this ground without your Father. But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear ye not, therefore, ye are more value than many sparrows. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that takes not his cross and follows after me is not worthy of me. I just wanted to add this last verse, even though it wasn't in the portion. I just felt like it needed to be said. He that finds his life shall lose it, and he that loses his life for my sake shall find it. Just so amazing. Such words of wisdom to live our life by. We are to put him first in all things, no matter what the situation. You know, it really just speaks to me. If we're embarrassed of the Father, if we're embarrassed to speak about him, to read his word, to speak to him about others, to share his goodness, or to even just make the choices that set us apart, to live righteously, if we're embarrassed to do those things, then he is embarrassed of us. And we cannot be like that. We don't want that. You know, we want the promises that we are given by being righteous in his sight. We must sacrifice. There is sacrifice involved, but there is promise and reward in the end, much greater than anything this earth can provide. Exactly, John. Turn back to truth. He says that is so true. Our family can be our worst enemy. There is many of us, I'm sure, that are walking this narrow path out, have gone through persecution with our closest of friends, our closest of family. And it's difficult. It's a trial. You know, they are able to really inflict us deeper than a stranger could. And so there is a lot of difficulty sometimes that we face with our closest, but we must persevere. We must push on, endure to the end, and just be an example, be a light to them, and hope that their eyes are open to the goodness that our Father has given us. So I'm just going to read this summary real quick of what we spoke about in Matthew, and then we'll finish it up for today. Messiah warned his disciples to prepare for persecution. They were to avoid all things which gave advantage to their enemies, all meddling with worldly or political concerns, all appearance or evil or selfishness, and all underhand measures. Yahusha foretold troubles, Not only that the troubles might not be a surprise, but that they might confirm their faith. He tells them what they should suffer and from whom. Thus Messiah has dealt fairly and faithfully with us in telling us the worst we can meet with in his service, and he would have us deal so with ourselves, in sitting down and counting the costs. Persecutors are worse than beasts, in that they prey upon those of their own kind. The strongest bonds of love and duty have often been broken, though from enmity against Mashiach. Sufferings from friends and relations are very grievous. Nothing cuts more. It appears plainly that all who will live godly in Mashiach Yahusha must suffer persecution, and we must expect to enter into the kingdom of Elohim through many tribulations. With these predictions of trouble are counsels and comforts for a time of trial. The disciples of Mashiach are hated and persecuted as serpents, and their ruin is sought, and they need the serpent's wisdom. Be ye harmless as doves, not only do nobody any hurt, but bear nobody any ill will. Prudent care thus must be, but not an anxious, perplexing thought. Let this care be cast upon Yahweh. The disciples of Mashiach must think more how to do well than how to speak well. In case of great peril, the disciples of Mashiach may go out of the way of danger, though they must not go out of the way of duty. No sinful, unlawful means may be used to escape, for then it is not a door of Yahweh's opening. The fear of man brings a snare, a perplexing snare that disturbs our peace, an entangling snare by which we are drawn into sin, and therefore it must be striven and prayed against. Tribulation, distress, and persecution cannot take away Yah's love for them, or theirs to him. Fear him who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. They must deliver their message publicly, for all are deeply concerned in the doctrine of the gospel. The whole counsel of Yahweh must be made known. Messiah shows them why they should be of good cheer. Their sufferings witnessed against those who oppose his gospel. When Yah calls us to speak for him, we may depend on him to teach us what to say. A believing prospect of the end of our troubles will be of great use to support us under them. They may be borne to the end, because the sufferers shall be borne up under them. The strength shall be according to the day. And it is great encouragement to those who are doing Yahusha's work, that it is a work which shall certainly be done. See how the care of providence extends to all creatures, even to the sparrows. This should silence all the fears of Yah's people. Ye are of more value than many sparrows, and the very hairs of your heads are all numbered. This denotes the account Yah takes and keeps of his people. It is our duty not only to believe in Messiah, but to profess that faith in suffering for him when we are called to it, as well as in serving him. Just so wonderful. We are to profess that faith, but also live it out and seek him. You know, we may not always have the words to speak, but lean on Yah and the Ruach. Let him speak through you. That's our prayer each and every day. We come on here to speak. We don't want to speak our opinion and our mind. We want to speak the word of Yah and rely on the scripture to do so. You know, the word is perfect. You cannot go wrong, not be led astray by the word. It's man's words that can lead you astray. So we try to stick as close to scripture as possible so that we know what we are speaking is the truth and the light. So that was all I had today. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming on, or if you're tuning in later, blessings to you all. May you have a blessed week, and may Yah work in your lives, and that you be a light to those around you. Shalom.